I want to give a rundown of using a group submitter to send off your trading cards for grading. I have done this with 2 different companies. I am not sponsored by either one. Spoiler alert, I had a good experience with both, and I'm going to tell you about the process. I was honestly pretty ignorant to the group submission process for a long time. I didn't really look into it because I thought it was not something I wanted to do, having somebody else submit my cards. Thank you to my buddy CardSync here on TikTok. I've tagged him below. He was the one who described his group submission process and got me to look into it and ultimately submit with these 2 companies. I'm primarily a hobby collector, not much of a seller, so I'm not sending off thousands of dollars worth of cards to get graded every month so I can flip them. I do like having my cards graded specifically because number 1, I think it preserves them in their current condition, and number 2, it maximizes their potential should I ever want to upgrade to something different. Of course, anyone can submit to PSA at the $25 level, but if you're a Collectors Club member, you can submit at $19 a card. Collectors Club membership runs about $100 a year. The catch with it is that once you have that membership, you still have to submit at least 20 cards to get that $19 rate. The $25 a card rate is not terrible because you can submit as few as you want, but I'm sitting there thinking once I submit 4 or 5 cards, I could essentially grade an entire extra card at the $19 rate if I could get that rate. This is not for or against any grading company. I've graded with a number of different ones. I send a lot of stuff to SGC, but specifically I have some cards that I know will absolutely hold more value if they're in a PSA 10 slab relative to any other slab. If we have to have the grading company debate every single time this comes up, there's the comments right there. Have at it. There's a variety of group submitters out there. Sometimes your local card shop will do it. I did not go with my local card shop. Their prices are a little bit higher. So I went with Nash Cards and PC Sports Cards for 2 different orders. Both of these companies charge you $19 a card to get them graded at PSA. Obviously, they have to make something in there, so their bulk rate with PSA is below $19 a card. I'm fine with that because they shouldn't be doing this for free. Both of these companies have their website set up where you create an account, you enter the cards that you're going to send them, you package them up, and you mail them to these companies. Nash Cards and PC then put your cards in a much larger order and mail it off to PSA. Nash Cards has a 5-card minimum if you want to submit at that $19 a card value level. PC Sports Cards does not have a minimum. Some group submitters also have an extra option to review your cards and only send what they think is most likely to gem. I haven't personally used that service because I like to evaluate my own cards, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. So I prepare my cards, put them in a penny sleeve, put them in a Card Saver 1, and submit them off to these companies. And they will not take those out before they send it to PSA because increased handling just increases the odds of damage. Both of these companies keep you updated in the process. They will let you know when they receive your cards. They will let you know when they send them off to PSA, and they will typically keep you in touch about the different stages it's in, whether it's research and ID, QA1, QA2, etc. I should mention you also do not pay up front. You send off your cards to them, they get it graded, and in case there's any upcharges, they wait until the end, and they will send you an invoice when your cards are done with grading. After your cards are ready, they will email you an invoice and let you know they're done. As soon as you pay, you can then log back into your account and see the grades that you got. By far, the biggest benefit to using a company like this is that I can get the $19 a card rate, but I do not have to submit the minimum 20 card order. So PSA grading turnaround is up to about 90 days right now for value level. If you're going to send through one of these companies, you're essentially going to add 5 to 7 days on either side of that. So it's not great to add 2 weeks to your grading wait, but it's honestly not that big of a deal in the grand scheme if you're just looking to get your cards graded. If you're a high volume seller, of course, you probably already have a Collectors Club account, so this is moderately irrelevant to you. I didn't have any issues with either order, but the other good thing is that these companies have a lot more direct line to PSA. If you have questions or concerns about your order, they will be able to handle that for you much more efficiently than you could yourself. In my experience, both of these companies showed me my grades immediately, and soon after they received the cards back from PSA, they mailed mine back out in secure packaging, so I was very happy with the experience with both of these. PC Sports Cards will also do group subs with other companies. I believe Nash is focusing only on PSA now. Personally, if I'm going to do an SGC submission, now that they're $15 a card for anyone, I'm probably going to do the submission myself. I don't know of any group submitters that are doing their submissions for less than $15 a card for the customer. Occasionally when PSA has sales, some of these group submitters will have a lower rate. I actually think I got my Nash cards order for $17 a card because PSA was having a sale. I think the group submission option is not for everyone, but it's really good for collectors who just want to get 4 or 5 cards graded, maybe test the waters, see what they can get, but they're not looking to spend thousands of dollars in the process. My turnaround with both of these companies was under 100 calendar days, not business days. So yes, it added a little bit of time to the process, but I'm not sure it was much at all. Let me know in the comments if you have questions or just thoughts about this process. I will be happy to answer as honestly as I possibly can to give you all the information you need to make your own decisions.